Hey everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Owner's Box. And Billy Koch, founding. What am I?
Founder
Managing
and managing
founder, and
partner.
managing partner of the Little Red Feather Racing Club. Joining me alongside, as always, is the great Michelle. Michelle, you're a little under the weather, and I had a
So sick.
crazy experience last weekend.
Being sick?
Yeah, you ready for
Tell
this?
me. Yeah.
Friday night, I go to. I have a beautiful dinner at the Pomplamoose with great people: Todd Schrupp, Larry Colmus, the Strausses, Margie and Bill. I think that was it. It was a beautiful 5-person dinner. I think I had a half a glass of wine and maybe one cocktail. Beautiful dinner. I get home, I start doing a little work on the computer, and I was finished my stuff, and I'm like, all right, that's it. I'm gonna go to bed. I stood up and the world started spinning. Like I've never had this in my life. Like I was like, whoa. And I didn't know what to do. I left all the lights on, the TV was on. I went upstairs, laid down in my bed, and I couldn't lay on my back. I could only lay on my side, and I was sweating like crazy. And somehow, some way, I think I was really tired. I fell asleep. So I didn't. I was like thinking, do I go to the ER? What is
Right?
happening to me? So then the next morning, when I wake up, I am still like dizzy, like
Did you eat
crazy,
shellfish?
nauseous. No, I didn't eat anything. It wasn't like an allergic reaction. So thankfully, Uncle Todd was there and he took me to the clinic on Saturday morning
Did you
because
get
I had to do
roofied?
something. No, I think I had a little case of vertigo.
Just out of nowhere?
That's what they said. It comes out of nowhere. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, because I asked the lady, it's something with your crystals and
Yeah.
your ear and the whole thing, and she gave me some medicine, and I was in a cloud all weekend. I finally, right now, feel better. This we're talking on Tuesday midday.
Wow.
I drove back from Del Mar today, and I finally feel like myself a little bit. I felt like I
So
was like in a
scary.
haze the whole weekend. It was so scary, and I'm not like a panic person like that. Like I don't, I don't like going to doctors. I don't like, but my wife, of course, instantly thinks I had a stroke, which I didn't. But when I got there and they took my blood pressure, it was really high because I think
Yeah.
I was nervous and, but it was the strangest thing. I know a lot of people, all of a sudden people are coming out of the woodworks like, oh yeah, I had that.
Yeah, my stepdad had that
It's
at work,
wild.
and he, like, couldn't get out of bed for a week because of it.
Yeah, a lot of people have said 3 days, a week. Thankfully, I got on that whatever that medicine is right
Mhm.
away. My nausea went away and I started eating again because I really on Saturday I barely ate anything. And finally I feel better. So
What does
yeah.
happen if you eat shellfish? What's your reaction?
Well, it's interesting you asked that. I haven't done it in about 30 years because
Yeah.
I asked my doctor if I could do it, and he said, well, as long as you're carrying an EpiPen. Last time I ate it, I got hives everywhere. It broke out in hives, my throat, my eyes. But we always have a pre-Ken's dinner at before the racing season at Del Mar, the summer season every summer with Ryan Carpenter, our great vet. And so next year he said he wants me to eat shrimp and he's bringing the EpiPen. I said, hey, if you're there, if Ryan's there, I'll feel fine. I'll try it.
If a great equine vet is there, I'll feel fine for my
I know,
allergic
but I
reaction.
feel like
I mean,
Ryan would like protect me and would like literally like get me into an ambulance right away
I
and
would
get me to a
stab you with
hospital.
the EpiPen so fast.
With all due respect, I trust Ryan Carpenter a little more than I trust you. I don't even know where you would. I don't. You'd probably jam it in my heart or something. I don't know.
Ew,
Like,
you put it in your thigh. Um, but I feel also like your reaction might not be asphyxiation just because we eat at a lot of places that have shellfish, and
right?
you don't, like, ever stress too much about
No,
cross-contamination, you know what I mean?
because
So
yeah, I haven't had a reaction in a year, 30 years. So maybe
yeah.
I've grown out of it. Who knows?
Every
I don't
7
know.
years, your body is a new body, so maybe you've grown out of it
Really?
for sure.
Have you been
Yeah.
watching Pluribus?
No, what's that?
Oh, it's great. It's on Apple TV. It's the new show from the guy who made Breaking Bad, Vince Gilligan.
Uh-huh.
It's really good. I
And it's
highly
about
recommend it.
your body moves every 7
No,
years?
it's not about that, but it's about something with your body.
Oh,
For
okay.
those of you who are listening and watching right now and who have watched Pluribus, you're probably laughing. It is Tuesday afternoon. We have a great guest, the one, the only Kenny McPeek, who We had one of the greatest shows ever with Kenny McPeek before he took us right over to Torpedo Anna's stall, and he was great. He was very honest. He's working with Morning Line, who we've had on the show before, so we're gonna go over a little bit about that again. We'll find out what maybe we'll find out what new, who are the new fresh faces in the McPeek barn. He always has some, which is
Right?
incredible. His strike rate is unreal. And we'll go from there. Since Kenny and I, we were both on the show together, the Netflix show. It's
Oh,
another funny.
the what's it called? Race for the Crown. Are they
I
bringing that back for a second?
No, I haven't heard, but I have a funny story about that. I was at the gym. I've actually been going to the gym before my bout with vertigo, and the guy next to me, I start talking to him. I've known him for a while, but we never really talked. But he happened to be on a bike. I was
Wait,
on the
like it's
treadmill.
just a random guy at the gym that just happens to work out next to you?
Yeah, it's a very small private gym here in Woodland Hills.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
So it's not like
And
you walked into Crunch Fitness and the
no, no,
same
no,
guy
no,
is
no.
always there.
This is
Okay.
a guy I've seen a million times. He's very fit, good guy. So we started talking, and yeah, what do you do? What do I do? He actually buys and sells private jets, not
Okay.
not fractional shares,
Like
like the
Amalfi?
jet. Yeah, like the jet itself.
Is his name Colin?
No,
Oh.
I don't know, Colin. But anyway, so I said, it's funny. I buy and sell racehorses, and he looks at me and goes, I watched that show, Race for the Crown. I'm like, I'm in it. It was
That's
pretty funny.
awesome. Did
He
he
was
say, "I don't
laughing.
recognize you"?
No, I'm very non-recognizable. I don't know.
Oh my gosh,
Maybe
that
it's
is
the
so funny.
mustache. Anyway,
Uh,
so it's been an interesting week. It's been very cold at Del Mar. Obviously, we had a cancellation last Friday, but we ran Monday. It was kind of fun Monday racing,
and then
but
we had some drama on Sunday because the freeway was shut down heading to Del Mar
I heard
because
about
there was
that.
a police chase that ended with the shooting of an officer right by Camp Pendleton. And
Whoa.
there's technically there are 2 ways to get to Del Mar, but one is direct from Santa Anita, and the other one involves a long
Going to the
haul
15.
east and then coming down like catty
Yeah.
corner, yeah. So most people just take the 5. Well, by the time you were on the road, a couple of horses didn't make it in time for LASIK, so they had to be scratched. A couple of
Oh,
riders didn't make it in time. They
oh.
couldn't ride their races.
Well,
It's 101 miles for us to go, and it was like 5.5 hours.
that's nuts. Well, at least the ambulance we're going the wrong way on the racetrack.
Oh my gosh. Do we know why that happened?
No, I don't know what's going on. I
For
think
our listeners
we're
out
in
there, there
some
was
like
a quarter
bizarro
horse
universe.
race that, the horses broke from the gate, and all of a sudden the riders start to pull and move sideways, and then the ambulance was
Yeah.
driving the wrong way up the rail.
Did you ever see Planes, Trains, and Automobiles? Are you a fan of that
No.
movie?
I know of it, but I haven't seen it.
Okay. You're going the wrong way. Just a little, just for our viewers. Okay.
Just for our viewers.
Yeah.
You've been at Del Mar.
I have been.
What's it been like? I honestly have only watched 3 races.
Yeah, it's been quiet.
It's
Been
fall.
quiet.
Fall is
Yeah, it's
generally quiet.
fall. It's fall. It's tough. We have the big turf festival coming up this weekend. That should be
Mhm.
awesome. There's a lot of really good horses running. The matriarch is coming
I
up.
saw Balnikov. Is it Balnikov that's in?
Balnikov's running on Friday. He ran second last year in the Hollywood Turf Cup to Truly Quality, who's also back again. So it's
Mhm.
a rematch of sorts on Friday. You have the Hollywood Derby, which is a great one for 3-year-olds. That's a really good race. You have the Matriarch. You have the Stormy Liberal. You got a ton of really good races coming up at Del Mar this weekend. It's that kind of lull in the 2 weeks between the Breeders' Cup and the Turf Festival. It's like, ooh, it's kind of quiet, but you know, it's been rough, especially with the rain. Listen, people are gonna go like, don't feel badly, but I feel bad for owners and trainers
Yeah,
and all the
because
people that work
if
so
you got
hard
rained out,
when
you can go 4 months without a race, if you
it's
have an
really
exclusively turf horse.
it's really tough our schedule right now because it goes as soon as Del Mar ends this Sunday, it goes to Los Al for a couple weeks, and then Santa Anita doesn't open until December 26th. And let's knock on wood right now that we get good weather. Um, because unlike other racing places, jurisdictions, we don't do well in the rain here in Southern California. Thank God. Thankfully, we have the training track at Santa Anita, which is synthetic, so horses can get out,
Mhm.
but we don't generally run when it rains, and we've sealed the track.
Did
Someone asked me about
you
sealing the track.
Well,
Why
we
don't
have
you
a rule
explain?
about it.
Well, no, but also I tried to explain to someone the other day what sealing the track meant. Can you do it better than
Yeah,
me?
so basically our track, we constantly are moving it around, right? So it's aerated. That way it gives a cushion to the horses. Because of that, if there's a little bit of moisture, it can drain through the dirt into the gravel area below and then into like our drainage system. But when we know there's a heavy onslaught of weather coming, we pack it down basically. So like imagine you have like beach sand and you push it down,
Just
how compact it gets,
with
and then
like
the water,
machine, with a big
yes,
machine, like
like a roller machine.
roller machine.
And so we smoosh it all down so it's so tight that it makes almost a waterproof seal on the top.
Right,
So
and the
then
water
it
just rolls off
rolls
of it.
off or it sits there and moves off. So it's easy once what happens is it sits there and then it doesn't permeate the racetrack to make the whole racetrack muddy and sloppy. It's this like little
Right.
first layer that we kind of squeegee away, and then we can dig up the track and everything underneath is dry and nice as it should be because we put that level in of pressurized dirt. So that's when we seal it. But
Did
because
you
it
use the
doesn't
word? Did you use the word smoosh it down?
smoosh it down.
What
Smoosh.
what other things do you smoosh?
Dogs' faces. Like you smushy? No, we smoosh a sandwich. No.
It's like
Uh,
you think that's just such a great Michelle
a
word.
Michelleism.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, and did you go to the horse show this week?
I did not.
Oh,
I heard it was great
Billy,
though.
it was so fun.
Well, when was it?
It was 2 weeks. So it was last week when I was in New York, and then it was this week when I was here,
No, I think I was down
and
in Delmar.
it was super fun. I didn't go
Yeah.
like the big night, but I mean the days I went, I saw, I think there were 18 Olympians that were there. And
Wow.
so I know I saw at least 5 Olympians on Wednesday afternoon. Like it wasn't even like the premiere. We saw some crazy good horses, and the jumps are so high. Like the last class we watched, Ron Winchell's daughter was actually competing,
Oh,
and
very cool.
so we talked to him for a bit. But his daughter was competing in the meter 45 classes or the meter 65
I don't know
classes.
what that means.
It's tall. A meter's 3 feet, so it's a
Yeah.
so it's like
I know what
4
a
foot,
meter is.
4.5. So it's like
Oh, it's
huge.
high.
They're
It's
huge.
high.
They're huge.
It's high.
Yeah, I mean,
Wow.
some of these guys are jumping like almost 6 feet.
That's
It's
wild.
wild.
How was your marathon?
My half marathon is
Half marathon.
January. I ran a
Oh,
10K this week.
10K. I saw
I
you
did
finish
really
third for your
good
division.
for my age, yeah, for my age group. Olivia won her age group, but she was the only person, but she also beat a whole bunch of other people.
That's
She was
nice.
the only young person that competed in the 10K. All of the other kids competed in the 5K.
Oh, that's cool.
So she actually, of 157 women that competed, she was the 30th finisher overall.
Oh, wow. I'm
I
sure
was
you saw that
91st.
Dave Portnoy showed up at Delmar on Sunday. That was really cool.
I did.
Yeah, Delmar did a
Did you
great job.
talk
I
to
thought
him?
Delmar. I talked to him briefly, just said hello. He's always very nice, very kind. Loves this
He should
game,
come on the
loves the
show.
sport. Yeah, I'd love to get him on the show. He his horse ran really well. Miss Watermelon in her second start for Jonathan Thomas ran really,
Yeah.
really well. Ran a good second.
He only
And
has gray horses, right?
what's that?
He only has gray horses.
He buys it. Well, his stable is Go Grays, and look, when you have a guy like that coming into the game, you want to roll out the red carpet and make sure everything goes well. And I think Delmar did a great job. They gave him a little gift basket with a bunch of goodies in it, and credit to Delmar for rolling out the red carpet. And I think he had a great time. He also
Where
went
did
to
he
Ken
sit?
Sushi. He went to Ken Sushi the night before. Gave it a
Oh.
9.2. I've heard
Does
the
he
rumor
is that what
mill.
he does? He rates food?
He does the pizza. He does the pizza thing
Okay, so
where
he
he
rates
rates
pizza?
pizzas. That's kind of that's his big video, other than running Barstool Sports. But he gave it a 9.2, and a funny story, which is like a huge score. Like Dave does not give big scores like that to anything, and apparently Ken really didn't understand what it meant, and he thought 9.2 was kind of average, and he was like, "That's what I," it was really funny. So
Yeah, I could just see
anyway,
Ken taking that a little harshly.
yeah,
I
he
was
doesn't
thinking
really
9.2 wasn't quite high enough for Ken's, but
know. You love Ken's.
I didn't know that the rating scale was so high. Has he ever given a 10?
I don't know.
Now I wanna know what a
I
10
don't know.
is.
I don't know. I have no idea.
All right, we're gonna try to get him on the show when we come back. He can be like our comeback from Christmas
Yeah.
guest, right? Oh, I have sad news for you.
What?
Rags to Riches died.
I saw that.
And it made me feel really old because I feel like she's young and they were like the infirmaries of old age. I'm like, what is she, 12? And she's
No.
21 years old.
Yeah. 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 I went to see one of her first foals. You know, she wasn't a great mom.
No, well, that's
Which
not fair. She wasn't a great producer. I'm
no,
sure
she
she was
was
a fine
no,
mother.
she also wasn't a great mom. They had to
Really?
have
Was she
a
mean to her babies?
yeah, she was not the type of mom. They had to have was it a nursing mare?
Really?
Yeah, yeah, it was sad, and I remember seeing it, and I could never say anything. Like they were like sworn me to secrecy at Coolmore, um, and I said I'll never say anything. But now that she's gone, I'm sure it doesn't really matter that much. But it
Well,
was
she was
sad.
also she should have been in the Hall of Fame last year, but you
What a
need
Belmont!
you
What
need
a Belmont she
50%
ran!
of votes plus 1 to get in, and she got 50% and not the plus 1.
Horrible.
So she's not a Hall of Famer.
Oh, that's all right.
But
Do you think you'll be in the Hall of Fame one day?
me? For
Yeah.
what? No.
Oh, horse
No.
racing, broadcasting, just being a good person.
No, none of the above would be my guess.
Well, Kenny McPeek's supposed to be joining us, so we're vamping.
All right. Should I pause
Anything else
us?
to talk about? No. Let's
Well, I
just
went to New
vamp.
York
Yeah. How was
and
New
I saw
York?
4 Broadway shows.
4.
4.
Look at your little tiny
Looks
fingers.
I know, looks weird, huh? 4. So we went for Hamilton with Leslie Odom, and
You've
that
seen that
was
like 1,000 times.
it's so good. It's
Yeah.
so good.
I've never seen it.
It's honestly I'll take you. Let's go. I mean, like,
All right.
it's so good. It's the best.
Okay. Maybe you could do that
And
for my Christmas present
the cast was
and my birthday
phenomenal.
present. You missed my
Yeah, your
birthday
birth
too.
I didn't miss it. I got back that day. I sent you a message
Ah,
when I got
yeah,
home.
okay.
But the cast is great. The next night, have you seen Phantom of the Opera?
No.
Have you ever seen a musical?
I have. I've seen my
You tell
favorite
me Beauty and the
musical.
Beast, I'll punch you.
No,
Okay.
my favorite musical of all time. You're gonna laugh because when I was a kid, I loved it. Was Chorus Line,
Oh, okay.
and then I don't see a lot of shows. I saw The Lion King, I believe,
I knew that was coming. That's it. Chad wanted to go see The Lion King.
and then I saw the Book of Mormon, which I thought
That
was
was
awesome.
hilarious,
That
right?
was really
So
good.
good. 2 by 2, we're marching door to door because
It
God
was
loves
really good.
Mormons and he wants
Yeah,
some more. There are
yeah,
some questionable parts of the Book of Mormon, though. I can't take Olivia to it because
yeah. It's a
the
little.
whole,
I think those are the only
premise.
plays I've been to.
Musicals.
Musicals. I don't think I've been to
Um,
many plays either, to be honest with you.
I don't go to a lot of plays. Harry Potter and the Cursed Child we saw a couple times, but I don't do a lot of plays. I like musicals.
You're also a person that would go to Disney without your kids.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
100%.
weird. I find
No,
that
it's
weird.
not.
It's 100% weird.
Why?
Let's
I
ask that
want it to be
question
magical
on
too.
Twitter. What?
Okay, I'll ask.
Because
We're
it's
called
supposed to be
Disney
a
adults.
place where you take your kids. It's not adults don't go to Disneyland just for fun. I mean, unless you like take mushrooms or something.
No, I like to just walk around and eat and shop and like ride my favorite ride without having someone whine at me.
Okay. I think
Guardians
it's
of the
weird.
Galaxy.
It's weird because I love you so much, but that is weird. But I guess we all have a little differences, and
Last year for my birthday, I think me, my mom, and my best friend all went just an adult day at Disneyland. That's what I wanted to do.
okay.
Wait, what was I? Okay. So we saw Masquerade, so Phantom is coming back. Angela Weber was actually on the East Coast watching Phantoms, and it's Phantom, but it's immersive,
Mm,
and it's like a group of 50, and you go into this building. You have to wear like black tie, black, white, or
really?
silver, and you have to be masked the whole time. So you have to
Wow.
wear like a black mask, and you start off in this ballroom where you're drinking, and then you're following this violinist to the fog, and the violinist takes you to their room, and Madame Giry, who's the leader of the ballet, is there, and she teaches you a dance, and then
Seriously?
yeah, and from there you walk into another room and there's all these statues, and then all of a sudden the statues come to life and they're all the dancers and they're singing Masquerade and they grab you and you dance with them like while they're
Is this like a new thing or is this
yeah,
immersive?
it was doing like a very, very limited run. It's so popular they extended it through February. But
Wow.
The cool, I honestly, our Phantom was great. Our Christina was great. You go through the story of the Phantom of the Opera. You also get behind the scenes. You like
That's
walk right on
wild.
the rooftop where like where they pull up the chandelier and like all this stuff. And the whole time you're participating. There's a part where they're at the carnival and you're taking shots and playing carnival games. And
Wow.
like the Phantom will hand you a
So what
note.
other plays could do that? I mean, I guess anything could do that, the immersive part, right? I mean,
I mean, I guess Hamilton you could probably do.
right.
Um, gosh, I don't know. I don't know. Into the Woods, I guess you could maybe do a little bit of like that. But Phantom just has so many backstories that they don't get to in the main thing. I've never experienced anything like it. I didn't quite know how it was going to run, and they keep moving you room to room. And then at some points, we got split up from our group of say
Oh,
50. We got split up into like three smaller groups for scenes, and Christina and I actually got split up once. I'm like, tell me what happened in your scene so that we could like compare how they were doing it because you have the same cast, but they're obviously having to
right.
rotate it through to go to all these different
That's
rooms.
cool.
It's like a fun house.
Yeah.
It was
Sounds fun.
phenomenal. And then we saw Operation Mincemeat, which is
What is
about
that?
there's a true story called Operation Mincemeat, which was during World War II, how they fooled Hitler. So basically uh the M51 or whatever
Oh,
the
okay.
British Secret
Yeah.
Service is, right? Had an idea that they would have a dead body show up somewhere, and so that Hitler would think that the Allies were coming in one spot, but they were actually going to another spot. And so it was like the story of how that came to be, and then they fooled Hitler, and they were able to conquer back Italy or whatever. But it was funny. It was great. It was all gender bender. The cast was amazing. It was really, really good. I liked
What
it a
does
lot.
gender bender mean?
So, like, the men were played by women and the women were
Oh,
played by men in the
oh,
show, except for one guy played this one guy. Other than that, everyone was flip-flopped.
gender
And
bender.
but it was great. It so
That's a
worked.
good
It
name
was
for a horse.
gender bender.
You
I
should
like
name a
it.
horse that. Hey, you had a good winner yesterday.
Oh, yeah, euchre.
First time starter. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was
His
nice.
first he drew the 4 hole when they first drew the races, and then when they
And then he
postponed, he
got
drew
the
the 9. I was very concerned about that.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, no, he ran really good. What else? Anything coming up this weekend for you guys?
uh,
As you text Kenny.
I don't I don't know. Ryan has runners, but I honestly, like, don't pay attention during Del Mar because I've got the kids home, we've got Christmas, we've got everything going on.
I
So,
can only imagine what do you guys go caroling?
yes,
Of course you
we
do.
do go caroling.
Yes.
We go caroling, we decorate for Christmas. I got all my Christmas cards right here getting ready to be sent
Oh,
out.
wow. Do you work in like a
And
soup kitchen also and dedicate your
we don't
time?
I do angel trees. So I don't do the
Hmm,
soup. My mom actually does that, but it's too hard when you're trying to do your own stuff. For us, just
right.
it doesn't fit in our schedule. And Olivia made a turkey tournament for soccer, so she has 3 days of soccer tournaments.
Oh,
Uh,
wow.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday after Thanksgiving. So it's gonna be crazy.
Incredible.
All right, let's give it a pause. I'm gonna call Kenny.
Okay. All right. We are back, and Michelle is going to bring in Kenny McPeek, the master himself,
Da
the
da da
master of
da.
disaster. You have a nickname, Kenny? Are you like, I just called you the master of disaster, but that was Apollo Creed.
No, not particularly. Just
No?
Kenny's fine.
What were you in like high school? Like, were you like, did they just call you like Peak or Peaky or anything like that?
No, I mean Kenny, just pretty much
Kenny.
Kenny. Nothing,
I've
nothing
never seen
complicated.
Kenny not at the barn.
Yeah, are you okay?
Yeah, that back surgery. That back
What?
surgery
What?
left. Yeah, it's like, yeah. What do y'all have been paying any attention? Have you?
No, Michelle's
No.
been in New York and I got vertigo over the weekend, so I haven't been like we haven't been ourselves. What did you
Yeah, no,
do?
I've been. No, I've had issues with it for a while now, but I've had 3 bulge discs and appendicitis nerve and
Oh,
um, some and I'm not sure they removed a bunch of arthritis and stuff like that. So yeah, I've been pretty much laying low.
do you feel
But
better? Did the surgery work?
Yeah, is the mobility better?
um, yeah, I mean, but I got a 4 inch incision down the middle of my back right now, so I'm trying to get to the other side of that. But I'll be fine. I mean, it's just one of them things in life. Everybody's got something, right? It's a good time of year to do it. Other side of Breeders' Cup.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But they epiduraled me to get through the September sales. That's how I got through those sales
No
because
way.
yeah,
Oh
I had
my.
some pretty serious stuff going on. But I survived
Wow.
anyway.
Did you that just sucks. Back sucks.
Well,
Every
you know,
part sucks, but back is really bad.
like an old
Back.
horse might need turned out for a little while. I'm gonna probably have a light winter. We'll see.
What's it feel like to not be going right now, though? I mean, is it hard?
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm pretty much steady as it goes anyway. I mean, I've got a lot of people that I can depend on, but I don't. I do delegate a lot of things, but the yearling sales were exhausting. I mean, we
Mhm.
went through September and October, and then we had Breeders' Cup right after that, and then I had the back surgery a week after Breeders' Cup, so I had to
Wow.
kind of time it window wise. But
We're
anyway,
yeah, we're gonna talk about morning line in a second. I had to retire a horse this weekend, Kenny.
hmm
And I knew he was leaving and he was a special horse to me. And I went up and I didn't think, and I brought him a carrot and like I just was kind of like petting on him and I started just bawling, like just out of nowhere. And I thought when Michelle said we were having you on today, I was thinking like, you have so many horses, but obviously you have horses that you're attached to, whether it's Torpedo Ann or Mystic Dan. Do you get emotional when
hmm
you say goodbye? Like when you have to actually say, and I know you'll probably see them again, but like, do you get emotional when they leave your barn?
Probably more with the fillies than I do the colts. I mean, if you go back into my career, Take Charge Lady was a filly that was extremely sweet, that was lovely to be around. Swiss Skydiver, I probably had a closer connection to her than any filly I ever had,
Yeah.
and then Torpedo Anna. Although Torpedo Anna wasn't, she's not really warm fuzzy type.
Yeah,
She's like Michelle,
Yeah, she's got a little
she's a
little
little prissy.
spice.
it could be a little bitchy. But as long as you had a peppermint, she was fine.
Yeah, of course.
But
Well,
I
that
don't
is
know.
like Michelle.
I've been doing it 40 years, and my first good horses were probably Tejano Run, um, certainly Take Charge Lady. Um, I mean, Harlan's Holiday was a horse I didn't get to train him throughout his career, but he was a lovely horse to be
Yeah.
around. And I'm sure I'm missing a whole lot of other ones over the years, but but yeah, I mean, you don't know, you kind of get used to it. In the sense that I always say that the training or handling or being around a good horse is kind of like surfing. You're trying to catch a really big wave, but unfortunately, they all come to shore.
Yeah.
Aw,
Interesting. It's a great analogy.
I mean, even
How?
even Zenyatta came to shore at some point.
Yeah. Yeah.
The ride's over, and then you kind of got to regroup. And the problem with us is there's so much still to do every day, even on the other side of it all. So
Sure.
there's really no time to contemplate. You've just got to pick yourself up and go back and get ready for the next one, and hopefully there's another next one in there. And it
Well,
takes.
you always wait a second, but you already. I'm sure if you go through your stall row right now, that you're like, oh, this could be the next one. Give us some scoop because now I mean I said to Michelle before you came on the show, I said Kenny always has at least one or two really good horses that are coming through the pipeline. Is there anyone that you're kind of excited about right now leading into next year?
Well, we're still real excited about Blackout Time, which was a
Yeah.
head scratcher out there in California. This horse actually, it might be a blessing that he didn't run, but I'm telling you, this is I mean, really, really high level colt. Much more talented than Mystic Dan was at the same stage. So
Wow.
if we can put that all together, then that'd be cool. But I've probably got 10 or 12 young horses that are sitting on the sidelines that haven't had a chance to show themselves yet.
Yeah.
Horses that are going to be making their first starts as late 2-year-olds, early threes, and so they're in there, and we've got a nice base of young horses that we can delve into and find good ones, and of course you got some average ones. I sold a lot of horses in the Keeneland November and training sale,
Oh yeah.
or yeah, that was early November, and
Sure.
yeah, and that's some horses that we already kind of knew their talent levels, and made a decision to exit and let some other people. And the market's good for those. I mean, they pay
Yeah.
they tend to pay 50% more than they probably would have otherwise because they get the chance to vet them. So, but anyway, and then there's young horses that are waiting for us in Ocala right now that they're getting ready to turn to. We probably got 90 down there already. So,
Wow,
What's your
90.
what's your favorite first year sire that you have upcoming 2-year-olds with?
good question. Jack Christopher was impressive.
Hmm.
Thought that Golden Pal really put a stamp on him. I think that he's going to be hard to miss. I think he's going to, speed with that Uncle Mo speed, and he threw good hind legs on a lot of them. I'm trying to think. Those two off the top of my head, and I'm sure that there were some other ones too, but it's that's hit and miss. And we try to predict who might be the next stallion, especially after going through all the yearling sales and having an opportunity to look at them all.
Sure, absolutely. Tell us a little bit about. We have you on the show today. First of all, you're one of our favorite guests. Last time you took us into the barn with Torpedo Anna, we had such a fun day that day. Thank you.
You're welcome.
But tell us about your relationship with Morning Line. We've had them on the show. We're not, Michelle and I, neither of us are the most technical people in the world, but they've now brought you in or some type of association. Tell us what you're doing and give us the pitch.
Well, look, I've always believed that we need to do unique things in the sense that we can't just keep doing the same old, and I've always been supportive of those that are trying to do something to promote the game and build the game. And my relationship with Tom Taft goes back quite a few years, and in this case, honestly, I don't know that much about the back end and how all this. I know that they needed some quality horses to kick it off. And I've decided that and I'm unique in that I'm in a position where I own parts of a lot of the horses that I train, which is unlike most other trainers, because I do take equity instead of commission at this stage in my career. I really prefer that.
Yep.
And so we offered some equity positions in some of those, and honestly, I'm going to learn from this myself. I think that there's a bit of a learning curve on not only my side but on the people that are going to be investing as well, because it's hard to price them, because if I offer a piece out, then I've still got to pay the bills on that horse no matter what happens. So if I price it and the horse ends up being worth a lot more than that, I actually lose money.
Sure.
And then if I overprice it, people kind of, oh, well, that one's too much. Well, I don't know what the answer to it all is, but I guess in this case, Joel, and I guess the market, will find its level. So, let's see how it goes. I think that right now we're in a learning stage on all of it, and we're going to find out over the next several months or years on whether this is something that the fan base is going to gravitate to.
So to kind of recap, it's a marketplace, and you buy into a portfolio that includes racing horses, breeding horses, a stallion share, etc. And then you can buy, sell, or trade your shares with other owners for whatever's in there. Like, say you don't want to do breeding horses, you can trade for more racing horses. Shares, right?
Well, once again, I think Joel would be better to answer those questions. But
he's been on.
If the price of that horse is gravitating up or down, I mean, I suppose that gives you an opportunity to buy in when it's on its way up. And then the bad thing is that if a horse gets hurt or retired or even some cases they break down, right? Then it becomes, okay, what next? And is that, where's the value of that horse headed after that? So it's a tricky game. And like I said, I myself, I probably ought to invest myself in that particular horses that I put out there. That way I would know where they're going.
Yeah.
But of course, mentally, I've got enough to follow right now, worrying about all the horses that I handle. But the horses that I put on there are good quality horses that have some upside for sure. And like I said, it'd be interesting. I think that the guys have put a lot of thought and time and energy. I think they've dotted their I's and crossed their T's on what they've offered out there, trying to figure that out. And I do think that the future of it's probably going to be whole horses, where if they have the finances to be able to buy whole horses and put them on there, then that gives them, I guess, well, if you could put whole horses on at hammer price, then that's even better for them.
Right.
But the problem on the other side is that if people are investing, they're not paying the daily bills either.
Interesting. Yeah.
So
Right. It's
that's
just the
another.
marketplace, right? They're
Yeah,
not actually. It's almost like they're not actually owning the horses. Well,
yeah,
listen, we're with you. It's an interesting concept. We've been talking a lot about it lately, and it'll be interesting to see, especially next year once they really get going. And now they have someone like you involved with some real horses, to see how the market responds. Right.
yeah. I mean, and if the market's strong on that, I think that's great. And if it's weak or they're not able to sell out all those shares, that's another deal in itself. But I'm not sure. I haven't talked to the guys lately, because I've been getting over this back and
Mhm.
just trying to get through the end of the year. But I need to reach out and see how it's going. And I'm hopeful that the horses that offered up. I mean, like blackout times in there.
Oh,
Wow.
really? Hold on.
Hey, Michelle, get on your computer.
I gotta get
Hurry,
right
we
on
got the
here
inside
now.
Yeah,
scoop.
I don't know how he's trading, and then I've got some others. Grand Slam Sam's a really nice horse, and I've got Universe, a really nice horse, and Torpedo Anna, a piece of hers on there, but we valued it at 10 million, which is probably
Wow.
high. But at the same time, I mean, I didn't have to put it up there, and if people want to buy into her at that price, then
Yeah, do
power
it.
to them.
Who's she?
So
Forgive me. Did I miss it? Like, who is she going to? Do we know? Or is this
Uh, John's going to decide. I
Kenny
haven't.
voted Curlin, right?
Kenny
Well,
voted Curlin?
that's an emotional play because I bought Curlin as well, and I think physically they would match really well. But it's up to John. I mean, look, I think there's some question marks on fertility and young mares, and you've got to get her cycling. But look, it doesn't matter who they breed her to. It's going to be an important foal. Whether it's into mischief, not this time, gun runner, Curlin, it's going to
Mhm.
draw a lot of attention. And yeah, that's John's specialty. But you know,
I've
we'll,
had
we'll
a I've
let it
I've
do
had
some.
I've had a theory over the years because you look at some of the greatest mares ever to run, whether it's the recently deceased Rags to Riches, who Michelle and I just talked about, or you look at Zenyatta, and you look at some of these other great race mares. They haven't been great producers. My theory was always that they were such great race mares because they were almost like males, like they had
Yeah, they had like
more
testosterone.
testosterone, and they were that was just a theory of mine. I remember growing up, I used to talk about it. What's your theory, Kenny? Because there is some truth to the fact that they're not, just because they were a great race mare doesn't make them a great broodmare.
Well, there's a line drawn pre steroid era,
Mm-hmm.
post steroid era. You
Interesting.
probably saw a lot of race fillies. I know when we were younger, there were a lot of race fillies, Winning Colors,
Yeah. Right.
Green Song. I mean, they were raced on anabolic steroids,
Mhm.
which
Interesting.
affects their hormones and affects their reproductive tracts. And definitely, I think that there's a negative to all that. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I, I know that like Take Charge Lady 20 years ago was a filly that we did not utilize anabolic steroids on her.
Mm-hmm.
She was a filly that was la natural, and she ended up producing Will Take Charge and
Amazing.
Charge Andy.
Yeah.
Um, and then you've got to. I mean, I think you definitely have to look at it differently today than we did
Back then.
20 years ago.
Yeah.
Um,
That's a great
but I
point.
think that definitely affected him. I mean, if of course, we're not old enough to know beyond that, but with people's opinion of race mares going back another 30 years prior
Mhm.
to anabolic steroids, then their position would be a unique perspective too. But
Yeah.
uh, yeah, but I
I
don't.
never even
Makes
considered that. That's like a
that's a
genius,
makes a
and
lot of
I
sense.
never even thought about it from that angle.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
no, that was a big deal. I mean,
Yeah.
because if you give a horse a filly, if you give a horse repeated equipoise or winstraw or
Right.
testosterone, then if their follicles, I mean, their eggs don't.
Mhm.
I mean, it affects them, and I do think that was a real serious issue that thank goodness the sports addressed, and
Right,
and I
and we
think
want to make sure no one was doing anything illegally. It was
Yeah.
legal back then.
it was allowed.
Yeah.
It was allowed, and there were those that played those cards aggressively, and there were those that didn't. And I do think that there was horses ran differently.
Yeah.
They built muscle. You could, I mean, I had a guy that bred horses in Kentucky, and this is back when I was in my 20s, and he didn't raise a good sturdy horse. They didn't have enough muscle on them, and they weren't well fed. And when they came into me, I had to build them up, and we utilized the steroids to build those horses up
Sure.
because they were coming to me with not enough to work with. And then
Yeah.
and it didn't hurt them, but these horses, I mean, these were lower end breed, or bred by a lower end breeder. These
Mhm.
weren't, these weren't July, front of September or Saratoga yearlings by any means, but I could definitely, you had to learn how to do that then. But then when you retired those fillies, it seemed like a lot of them never made it to the breeding shed, and they weren't good enough to go anyway, most of them. But they definitely ran better when you gave them wind straw.
Yeah.
People talk about too, even about clenbuterol. It's like, oh, these horses ran so good. How come we don't have horses that run the way they did? And and back in the day when they ran, well, first of all, you could medicate a lot more. You could use clenbuterol. Like, I mean, there were a lot of different rules that we have now that prohibit running, every single 7 days or twice in a week or whatever, and why they
Yeah.
don't go as fast.
Well, clenbuterol is a lot different, though. It's nothing that was more of about keeping a horse's airways open.
Yeah.
Right. And I thought my dog was loud.
No,
Oh, is
it's
that
my
Billy's
dog.
dog?
Sorry. Yeah, it's my dog today.
I thought that was Sunny wanted to make an appearance.
Sonny's here. Don't worry. When you
Oh, hi,
hear him,
Sonny.
you'll know it. But yeah, clenbuterol's a little different, and I like the non-Lasix and stakes today. I think that's been a really good thing, and horses are same guys are winning anyway. Actually, I think that the work Heiss is doing has really not changed anything. The guys that won are still winning,
Yeah.
and
But we
they
did.
think we're all cheating. We're not doing anything at all. All right, we're just trying to make payroll.
Listen, it'd be reticent not to mention the Breeders' Cup, because Blackout Time, who I loved going into the race, you obviously loved. Hopefully, it's a great 3-year-old campaign, but he wasn't allowed to run in the Breeders' Cup. He was a scratch. Mystic Dam was a scratch. There is, there's this fine line we're dealing with right now, and especially out where Michelle and I are in California, they are very, very strict. How have you been able to handle that and process that and kind of what's going on in our world? Because I had a trainer walk up to me this morning at Del Mar before I drove back up and said, the vets are they're killing us. Like, I can't run my horses. And I don't know if sometimes I think, okay, well, we can't take that risk because of where we're at as a community. And the other side of it is, hey, we have to run the horses.
Well, what happened to trusting the horsemen and even the jockeys? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've worked hard to support HISA. I do think we need universal rules, which we still don't have.
100%.
I think they need to work on that. I think we need to have a financial responsibility rule that trumps everything. If people aren't paying their bills, how can a trainer take care of horses when his client's not paying him?
Yep.
But that's kind of off the topic. But the vets, they're well intentioned. I get it. I mean, but at the same time, I've got a very important client who had 35 horses, and within 10 days, they put 3 of his horses on the vets list. And all 3 of the horses, we sent them for scans and everything, and we can't find anything. He says, I've got an idea. Sell them all.
Wow. Yeah. All 35.
He told this industry to kiss his behind, and he left.
Yeah.
I'm not saving the sport doing that. I mean, look, nobody is more disturbed when a horse breaks down than myself or my staff or anybody connected with that horse. Nobody is more disturbed. I mean, I know they're worried about PETA and fans and perception and everything like that. There is absolutely no motive that why would any of us want that? And so I think in this case of analysis paralysis, Mystic Dan was not going to break down in the Breeders' Cup Mile.
Right.
No shot that Blackout Time was going to do that. They nitpicked us to death.
Yeah.
All right. I accepted it. I got the first flight out of there. Okay. Got it. You know,
Yeah.
what's the old saying? I fought the law and the law won. I didn't fight. I just said, okay, fine.
Well, you can't really. They
I'm
don't
not
even.
rushing back to
Yeah.
California to run any horses. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah.
Why? I mean, but there's really it's analysis paralysis. It's
Yeah, it's a lot.
crazy. I've got taken by the wind who won the Pocahontas in Gallop by 5 or 6 lengths, and they put her on the vets list an hour after the race, and she's still not off. We have X-rayed her 3 times, nothing. We have bone scanned her. We have PET scanned her, nothing and nothing.
Mhm.
And they don't like the way she moves. And I'm like,
That's the
well,
Yeah.
craziest thing to me is that
No,
you can
yeah, that's the
scan
crazy thing.
and
If
we've
you
show
blocked,
nothing.
we've blocked, we've done. I mean, and she still won't even let her work.
Oof.
I mean, I'm like, Doc, what are you going to do? You're going to make me retire? This is
Right?
crazy.
Over
Yeah.
nothing, literally nothing. Some horses aren't going to move great no matter what.
Correct.
She carries her head high and she toes in a little bit and offset her knee, and she's got this little action, but she's undefeated, and yet she's at this point probably retired.
That's
We
crazy.
Terrible.
and we got PET scans that are clean and bone scans that are clean, so it's frustrating.
Yeah. No, we hear you.
There is no recourse, none,
Yeah. Yeah.
no
There's
recourse.
only recourse for the trainers if something happens.
Well, look, I mean, I'm not going to be shy about it. I'm about 6 or 7 years left in this business.
Yeah.
This might even shorten that. I mean, I'm not excited about going beyond that. Maybe something to change my mind, but I'll continue to probably buy horses for people. By the time I'm 63, so by the time I'm 70, I'll probably buy horses for some of the young guys that work for me and let them deal with the state vets. But it's the owners that are getting beat up here.
Mhm.
Correct. But
It's
we
the
are
owner,
on the owner's box, and we understand that
the
very
owner,
well.
the owners are, like they're not given any clarity. They're having to pay bills on a horse that they can't race.
Yep.
The state vets put them on the list. Then you try to get them off, and they don't want to let you off. And then it's okay. Well, what do we do now?
Yeah.
I mean, and
Definitely.
yeah,
That's a good question.
yeah, it's a
Tony,
little, it's a little frustrating.
what kind of a solution do you see that we could institute to help? Because it's obviously, like you say, coming from a place of good, but it's been very frustrating for many people.
Well, I think if the state puts the horse on the vets list, that they should be responsible for coming back in a specific amount of time to allow that horse to get off.
Mhm.
If they say it's on a 2 weeks list and it can work back in 2 weeks, then they need to be standing there in 2 weeks, not a month,
Yeah.
or they're too busy.
Yeah.
And one of the things that's frustrating to me is the blood work that they draw. So if I work a horse and I'm off
Mhm.
the list and they get me off, then they draw blood. And why are we drawing blood? Well, to check and see if you gave the horse any anti-inflammatories. Well, I wouldn't do that. So, and yet they're drawing blood, and they won't let you even enter till the blood work comes back.
Right. So you miss your enter time.
So
Yeah.
there's another 7 days or 10 days. I say, okay, eliminate the blood work or take the blood. And then if the blood comes back positive, then fine me $5,000.
Mhm.
Right. Make
Or
it
or
worthwhile.
disqualify the horse for running
Right.
and put it back on the list.
Right.
But nobody's being fined or suspended for bad blood work.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
how many sets of blood works have we taken over the last so many years since all this was instituted? Thousands and thousands and thousands multiplied by 7 days, 10 days, that some owner out there is paying the day rate and the trainer still can't enter his horse.
Yeah.
That's stupidity.
Makes a lot of sense.
So
Wow.
anyway, but
I feel badly that this very positive discussion turned into this. We just wanted to tell you on this eve of Thanksgiving how thankful we are for you to be our guest and for what you've done to the game. That's all I wanted to do. We could hang up. I mean,
no,
we could have done
we
that.
don't need to do that. It's not negative so much. It's problem solving, and then there is a lot of things that need to be solved, and I mean we've got to get this sport so that it's growing again, and we've been shrinking for a long time, and we want to get it to grow. But I've been trying. I mean, I've done everything in my power, whether it's through horse races now or now morning line or even bringing owners into the business that give them a real chance to succeed at a high level. And I'm hopeful that we can, like resurrect ourselves to some extent, because we've been in this negative spiral and we need to get into spiraling up. So,
Yes,
no, am I optimistic? Cautiously, but at the
it's
same
fair.
time, there's a lot of work to do. And
Absolutely.
yeah,
I have
anyway.
my graded stakes committee meeting in about 3.5 weeks, Kenny. What's your take on the graded stakes in America right now? Just overall, give me an umbrella statement, 30,000 foot view.
Well, it's unbalanced. You know, so many things are different state to state. I mean, Kentucky's at such an advantage right now because we've got
Full
the
fields,
well, we've got full fields that is coming
big
from
big
the
purses.
instant racing or the
Yeah,
historical
Mhm.
racing, and
correct.
yet other states don't have a historical racing like California or Florida, or I don't think New York has it either. And yet, so when their prize money falls, then the quality of the fields and the field size
Yep.
falls. I mean, I was reading about it a little bit recently how, you know, Rick Hammerly politics really hard for California, but I don't think I don't know who in New York's doing that yet.
They are.
Yeah.
Are
Well,
they?
I
Yeah.
mean, but should it probably should be with a clear mind, but Kentucky's in this great position because we've got these Kentucky KTDF fund money
Yeah.
on top of the historical racing money. The field sizes are large, and so I think the competition's tougher and
Yeah.
tougher.
But
Bigger
we
field,
and one
better
of the things
horses.
we've said, and we said it actually last year in our meeting, I'm not afraid to share it, is that we have to be careful not to just continue to downgrade places like California and Florida and just always Kentucky's always being upgraded. Pretty soon everything is going to be in Kentucky, and the other jurisdictions are going to suffer. So
Mhm.
there again, I use the word fine line. There's a fine line in kind of everything we do in this business, and we got to be careful.
Bob's been so dominant in California in the 2-year-old division and even the 3-year-old division that
Yep.
when you got 4-horse field, he's got all of them. That's ridiculous, really. How is that happening?
Well,
But
it's happening because I call it the Baffordization of Southern California, which I coined about 10 to 15 years ago, in that people that are racing out here in California and we go to the sales, we know we can't compete, so we don't really buy dirt horses. We don't buy high pedigree expensive dirt horses because we can't beat them. And
yeah,
it's impossible because he just has the numbers. And by the way, credit Bob, this is not a rip on Bob has one of the best eyes I've ever
agree
seen
with
to buy a horse, and he knows how to train these horses, and he knows how to win big races. Give him all the credit in the world. But that business plan of whether it's the Avengers or Zidane and these guys, they're all going to the same trainer. It makes it very difficult to compete, and that's one of our issues. And I wish I had the solutions, but I don't.
a piece of me wanted to come out there and compete with him years back in 2009 and 10. I kept a division out there for about a year and a half, and financially it was just it was a negative. I mean,
Mhm.
you
Yeah,
couldn't function, and finally just had to withdraw. But it's a shame. I mean, Doug O'Neill's got some young horse. I guess Peter Miller does, but
yeah,
it just doesn't seem like.
yeah.
Obviously, some great guys out there, Sadler and
Mandela, and every
uh,
once in a while
yeah,
comes up with one. Yeah, no, it is an issue, and we discuss it. And but someone like we appreciate you coming on and talking about it, because sometimes you don't want to bring up these things. I mean, we just had the cancellation of the Bob Hope Stakes. Like, that's not coming back. So it's frustrating. It's frustrating to be out here. But listen, you take care of your back. We have taken up
yeah.
way too much of your time. Well, one Christmas present for racing. We're about a month away from Christmas. Give us one. I'm Kenny McPeek. I'm the Santa Claus of horse racing. What am I giving to horse racing? Give it to me.
The ability to watch a race easily without having to jump through multiple hoops to do it. Why
Oh,
why can't you just watch a horse race, whether it's in a major track or a little track, without having to open an ADW, without having to, find it on TV,
Mark.
and or
Right.
having to pay a subscription to a company that doesn't have a stake in it. And it just, for me, we need to make it easier to watch racing. And
I like that.
the day we make it easy to watch racing is the day it starts growing again. They're quick analogy before we jump.
Yeah.
Years ago, the Cincinnati Reds were one of the first teams to put their games on WLW radio back in the 1920s and 1930s. And when they did it, they were criticized that if they played their games on WLW radio, that people would stop coming to the games. Sonny just showed up, by the way.
Oh, hi, Sonny.
When he hears your dog, he's gonna probably. There we
Oh,
are.
hi, Sunny.
Sonny.
But anyway, when they started playing the games live on the radio, they thought that people would stop coming to the game. And then what they learned was that they started paying attention to the game, and they started coming to
Right.
well, at the time, Crosley Field, and they actually quadrupled attendance in the first 3 years after they started playing on the radio. So why doesn't horse racing in whether it's California, New York, why don't we have just the simulcast audio run through a radio station in a local market area so people could listen
Yeah.
and know what's going on with the play-by-play in color like other sports do, baseball and such. And why can't we make it so easy to watch on your cell phone that you just literally you get a notification, you turn your watch. That's what horse races now was evolved.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But we make it too hard to watch, and that's the reason why the sport's crumbling. It's not because jockeys hit horses 7 times. It's not because trainers are using things. Nobody's cheating. Okay.
Right.
It's not because of breakdowns. Breakdowns are brutal. They hurt everybody's feelings. But that's not why the sport's shrinking. It's a media rights issue. It has been. It continued to be till somebody shakes a tree.
Well, why don't we shake the tree, and then you, me, and Michelle will be in the corner, like talking about every race, like and be real about it. We could talk during the races. Look at the trip the one's getting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No,
see, that'd be good. Let's do it.
Brilliant stuff. I mean, that's what the Mannings do, right?
Yeah.
No,
when you retire in 7 years, there's my dog again. I don't know what he's barking at today, but when you retire in 7 years, I'll probably be too old too, Kenny. I might be done too. So we'll get together and do this. Me, you, and Sonny.
Sounds good. We got to
happy
bring Nick Hines or something, don't we?
What's that?
We got to bring Nick Hines, Sarge or something too.
We'll get the Sarge in.
This sounds like a very man-heavy show. I feel like there's a female that needs to be involved.
Oh, we're waiting for you, Michelle. You always have a place in one of the Billy and Kenny show. No problem.
There we go.
All right, Kenny. Happy Thanksgiving to your family and everybody. Thank you for spending the time. We appreciate it.
All right. You guys try the morning line stuff. This could be a real game changer.
We will.
We will.
Thanks, Kenny. Kenny McPeek here on the Owner's Box. Always a wealth of information. Like I'm exhausted right now.
Kenny forever.
Yeah, I mean, but you know what I like is it's a real conversation. I mean, we talked about some real stuff, and I know he was frustrated with the Breeders' Cup with what happened, and I'm glad we talked about it. You know, Michelle and I, we try to veer away from controversy a lot of times, but some of that stuff needs to be said. And you know, the cancellation of the Bob Hope was really depressing to me personally. I just don't like the shape of where California is heading, and again, like when people talk about Bob, and I'm not criticizing Bob. I'm criticizing what has happened around it. It's not Bob's fault. So anyway,
Bob's just doing the best he can do, right? Like that's,
of course.
What's Bob going to do? Tell him, oh, stop buying me horses? Like that's not going to happen.
Right. I remember I've told the story before on the show, Michelle. I was sitting with Todd Pletcher one time at the Fairplex sale way back in the day. And I said to him, Todd, why don't you bring us? You have so many horses. Why don't you bring a string out to California? Like you do such a great job. He was already big back then. And he goes, because I would have to bring a B string and my B string would get crushed. And that actually made sense, because even though California, we might not have the biggest fields but look what happens when we go to the Breeders' Cup. I mean, we're competitive. Like let's be honest. So it is interesting, but you know, there's been some new faces. Jonathan Thomas has been here for a while, and hopefully we can attract. I just got the book from Santa Anita, and the maiden races are $70,000. You know that?
Yes, we have purse boosts.
Yeah.
So
that's good.
I think honestly our accounting situation and whatnot is good. People
Are you the
hated
person
on
that has
the
been
Santa people
barking?
hate on
Who's
the
been
Santa
barking?
Anita fall meet, but our field sizes were excellent. What dog is that?
That's Bowser. That's my son's dog. I think that's the
Oh,
one who's been howling. Banks, come
that
here.
is definitely not
No,
your
that's not Lila
bulldogs.
or Riggins. They're outside.
Holy cannoli.
Come here, Bowser. Anyway, Michelle, have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Give my best to everybody. And Kenny McPeek, thank you for joining us. Go check out Morning Line. Michelle, put the web address in our tweet we send out. I think Michelle is frozen right now. Oh, yeah, there you're back. You
Now we're
were
back.
frozen for a second,
You
but
were frozen. You were
oh, I
frozen.
was frozen too. Well, we were both frozen, but thank you all for listening. We really appreciate it. We're probably going to take a little break until Santa Anita starts. Maybe we'll do something for opening week at Santa Anita. It's been a great year. Thank you to all our guests. And Michelle, you're the best as always.
Thanks, Billy. Happy belated birthday, by the way.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.